Hello, everybody, and welcome to all the viewers now and in the present, and none of you in the past.
Empty or
Today
loaded?
we're starting a brand
Take a look.
new
We'll need this
series
sled all the way
on
back.
the channel, where we are talking about the great and powerful Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egypt. Does any of you guys here know anything about
Chilly again,
the
ain't
woman
it?
herself?
So it's getting chilly again, ain't it?
Yeah, this is Oklahoma.
Hold on, Bubba, can you mute?
The Adventures of Bubba, ladies and
There we
gentlemen.
go.
My apologies.
That's all
No worries,
right.
Hey, Moira, good to see you, girl. So,
Oh, hey, Moira.
all of
Hello
this
there.
started roughly in 67 BC, or as they go now, BCE, right? Back when so Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy the 11th, died. And her brothers took over, Ptolemy the 12th. Now, her and Ptolemy the 12th were married when they were about 17 or 18, but they didn't really get on at all. And so she was there, and then her ancestor had a massive kingdom, right? Like an empire stretching from like present day Egypt all the way up to islands touching Greece.
Moira's
Now-
already left you a question.
Oh, I will get to that. Okay, so her entire family, okay? I'm going to show you her family tree. Yeah, are all interbred.
That's a bush, not a tree.
I was about to say, that's not a tree. That's like a vascular system.
Yeah, and I know that some of you are wondering, like, so that's how it is in their family. Which is true. But, so, after her father died, the kingdom, like, was dying. As it was. Like, so by the time Cleopatra came to the throne, she wanted to be the sole ruler of Egypt. Now, for the previous 300 years, going back to her ancestor Ptolemy I, she was the first Egyptian, like, ruler to speak any form of Coptic or the Egyptian language. Fun fact, Coptic is modern day ancient Egyptian, and the Coptic writing is the descendant of the ancient Egyptian commonplace hieroglyphs. Like, hieroglyphs was more of the official religious type, but the Coptic became the general script. So, in 67 BC, she met Julius, like the dictator of Rome, Julius Caesar, right? And it went well, but she had placated herself to a number of kings, trying to. Oh, okay, BK. We're only 3 minutes in. Don't know why you're watching that fast, but sure. She placated herself to a number of kings, but it didn't work. But Rome was on her doorstep. Every kingdom around her was falling to the not Roman Empire, kids. What came before it? The Roman Republic. Right? And Julius Caesar was at her door. Now, between 57 and 59 BC, there was the battle of what was called the Alexandrian Wars. Also known as the Succession Wars. Right? Where Cleopatra was now on the side of Julius Caesar, whose name was actually Julius Caesar. Right? That is actually how you say it, his name. Now, she was there, and she decided to take sides against her brother, Ptolemy the 12th. Okay? And so they went to war, but Rome didn't have much in the way. Ptolemy the 12th. This is her brother. Right?
He doesn't look African American potato.
No, he does
God
not.
damn it.
I wondered how long it would be before we got that set. 4 minutes. So, what's okay? So while they were there, they turned around. Like she was with him. She was over. She was gone from Egypt. She was exiled. Right. Now, her brother lost in the wars, and he died in the Nile. R.I.P. So Julius Caesar ended up taking over, and but he didn't hold all of Rome. He held Alexandria. That's the thing, because it wasn't Roman Egypt at that point. So while she was trying to bide her time, she decided to sneak back into Alexandria, back into the palace where she lived with her family. Which this is it. Like this is one of the most faithful recreations of it, and it's in a video game. But Raquel was talking to me while I was planning, and she said, "Why can you not go up the back wall? Because she had to sneak into this." Raquel? Can you now see why you didn't go up the back wall?
Because it's a cliff.
Exactly.
You can definitely go down the back wall.
Yeah. Good
So
luck with the landing.
Oh, hold on. Try and catch up. All I got is mustard. I'm doomed.
Oh. That's
Okay.
fucking terrible.
So this is the palace. Now, so all the historians know is that she managed to sneak in with the help of a group of guards who were both dressed up as Egyptians and Romans, right? And they carried her, and then courtesan girls, and they carried her in. Now, if you ask me, I think that she either took. This seems like the most direct route, but if you think of what was going on back then, he named his cat Cleopatra.
Hey, Bone. Aww.
Good to see you guys. So if you look at it now, your logical thought is this is the most direct route, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
the fact that she had to sneak in, and the fact that Julius Caesar himself, the man who was kidnapped by pirates, and was offended at how little in dockets they were charging for him, right? And then went back and murdered all those pirates. Like this place was swarming with guards. So this direct route is not the most safest route.
Right.
I
And
think-
that's when I said go back, sneak in the back. But then that's when you told me there's
It
a
looks like
cliff in the
this.
back. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a cliff in the back. He's like,
No,
okay,
I think-
that's not gonna work.
Now, if she went into the harbour, I think that this may have been the safest route because you're going in through the side. Do you get me? Like, you're going underneath and then you're coming up behind, going through the town where, like, this is the town, so there wouldn't have been as many guards there. Where the guards would have been where Caesar is, right? Now, and then you have this route. These are the routes that I believe that she would have taken. Honestly. Didn't Cleopatra roll up? Yeah, just keep... it was the Roman Republic.
Yeah, didn't you say to me, Potato?
Damn it, Bone, really?
She was rolled in the rug wire, and didn't you say, Potato, when she was unrolled the rug, she like says like surprise or something like that?
Surprise, bitch. Yeah. Like when so she was unrolled in the rug in Caesar's bedroom, naked.
Oh my.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? 18 years old. Caesar was at the time 57 years old, so about half Favre's age. Please don't hurt me.
I'm ignoring it.
Love you too. But the thing is, the next morning, her brother and future husband, yes, that's right, folks, they really kept it in the family. Her brother Ptolemy the 13th, because, you know, I guess they couldn't think of any other names. He discovered him, took his diadem off, threw it on the ground, and ran out, screaming to her guards, "I have been betrayed. I have been betrayed." And it's like, congratulations. Thanks for realizing it. Now, here's the fun fact. She had a sister
Oh,
that no one really talks about. Arson away. That's generally her sister's name. Now,
Wow.
yes. I'm Cleopatra. This is my sister. Ass in the way.
yeah. So Rome had a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loved her. Everyone loved the princess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the princess, which meant the nobles loved her, the people loved her, the guards, like the Egyptian army, loved her, right? But the thing is, Rome wasn't there at all. Like only had a little foothold into Alexandria. So when they tried to fight the Egyptians, but they were no match, which resulted in Cleopatra having to make a swim for it, right? And she ended up having to swim out one of the boats because during the battle, Julius Caesar had wrote a letter, and the letter was calling for aid, which would have taken weeks upon weeks, if not months, to get from like Rome. Oh, hey Jens.
Hello.
The
Oh,
only
God. My brain.
So it would have taken months for the Roman Navy to get there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Julius Caesar had to abandon Alexandria. He had to run himself. And when he was running, he lost his purple cloak.
Prime definition of you can't win them all.
Which, honestly, when he lost his cloak, pretty much, like, that was him. Like, they used this as a flag. The cloak of the Roman, like, dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was the flag that the rebels, like, paraded around.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, it was one of, like, at the time, like, Caesar's greatest defeats. Like, the fact that he had to run away and swim for his life was kind of an embarrassment. Any of you guys want to butt in or say anything?
I'm good.
Well, it was a period of history, folks, where times were changing in Europe. I mean, Caesar, he ruled in partnership with Pompey until his conquests in Gaul and all that conflict, as it were.
Yeah.
Pompeii, was this before or after the disaster?
This was after.
After. Okay.
Yeah,
It
so
just
he
goes
no
to
longer
show-
had the support from that region for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't forget, though, as well, the Gauls were banding together as well, and they were becoming a viable threat.
Mm-hmm. It was a momentous period of history that we
Yes.
still talk about today.
Oh,
Indeed.
absolutely.
Let me just start by saying that when you said world history, I thought we were talking about a Mel Brooks movie.
History of the World, Part 1, folks.
Yes.
But,
You know they're
um,
making another one, right?
Yeah, they're bringing
Yeah.
part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it, don't look good. But the thing is, which, like, their lives are so hard, like, I think, honestly, we'd all be dead if we lived back then. Except maybe Favre. He seems like a survivor to me. But honestly, I think that we'd all be dead.
I'd have lived until I sold Julius Caesar for too few ducats.
Yeah. Ow. But there. Oh, sorry, my ears on me 1 sec now. There we go. But the thing is, when I'm going to show you a map, right? So this is the old area. This is all Rome had. Now, the Lighthouse of Alexandria. This was because remember they had during the battle, arson away had lost. They lost the palace. Like, the palace was burned down to the ground. So, Arsinoe, who look like
I
this is a
hear that
painting of-
chuckling in the background, damn it.
I know, I hear it as well. Like, there's another painting of her.
She is pretty.
He doesn't look
Very-
European.
Oh, God.
Maybe
It's
that's
European with a
the,
suntan.
Maybe that's who the African American is playing. Not Cleopatra, but
The
Arsinoe.
real Roman Empire was when it grew too big and split into the Eastern and Western empires. Yes, also known as the Byzantines. Yeah.
Yep.
So, after Cleopatra had basically, banged her way into Caesar's heart.
That's one way of putting it, Potato.
I mean,
Yes.
it's not entirely inaccurate, but
Yeah.
Well, and kudos to Caesar for having the vitality.
yeah, no kidding.
Actually, yes, Moira, it is. Actually, Caesar's son, Caesare, was actually where we get the name Caesarean section from.
No.
Wait, isn't that pronounced Cesare?
That's
No,
the
this is
Italian.
earlier.
That's the Italian, the more modern Italian pronunciation, and
Yeah,
that's an
that's
American
Florentine.
translation of the Italian.
Yeah, so his name would have been like Caesarian, Caesar, or Cesare. Right?
That's
Like,
a lot of names.
yeah, all for one guy who didn't last too long.
And we'll name that half Nemo.
Yeah, so Caesar's promise to put Cleopatra back on the throne was to get rid of her sister, right? So they stormed Alexandria in just and when they stormed it, they managed to drive back the Egyptians and get her sister, right? Now, when they got the sister, they decided, oh yeah, we're going to send her over to Ephesus. One sec. Over in modern day Turkey, where Marcus Aurelius ruled from. Sorry, Mark Antony. Where he was the second triumph of Rome. Now, but here's the thing. He was good friends with Caesar, but not good friends with Octavian. Yes. So, this lasted only for 2 years. Because 2 years after this, and... as what Romans did when they captured a foreign land, or foreign queen, was they dragged all their gold through the street in what was called a triumph. Right? This is what it looked like.
Oh, yeah, I heard about triumphs. They sort of just show off the wealth, and sometimes when they go back home, they give some of it to the people. They just chuck it out.
No, they'd give it to the armies. They'd give... Yeah. Like, the triumph was divided amongst the armies, not the people. The people kind of came from when they used to throw candies to the people.
Like candies, actual candies.
Yeah. I recall they had actual candies.
Now, bear in mind what they called candy and what we call candy are very different substances.
Yeah, I mean, like, in the 1500s, they ended up having sugar, but I'll talk about that when we get to that point, when we talk about someone from that point. Right?
Hello,
Now-
kitty show.
This is her triumph, right? Like, they dragged all of her riches through the streets. They dragged, the Senate saw it, the people saw it, but here was his mistake. They put this is the face of her, right? 18-year-old girl inside of a cage.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Keely Chow, we're talking about the true
Hello.
Cleopatra.
Not Arsinoe.
Well, Arsinoe has to do with that. So,
Hey, Matt
but
G.
here's the thing: the people stopped cheering when they brought her out because she was stained in feces, urine, she was beaten, right? She was disheveled, and she was an 18-year-old girl,
Yeah.
possibly 16, right? The people stopped cheering. when they could see her. And then they started booing and jeering Caesar, and they started getting very, very unruly. Like, even the Roman guards were looking at her like, what are we even doing here? So that is when, because Caesar was going to have her strangled as the, like, pièce de résistance, if you get me, right? Or as anyone here who's has any Italian, meatball, right?
Hey,
So
there ain't nothing like a young, pretty girl that can change the entire setting of everything.
yeah,
Sympathy upon sympathies.
yeah. So Caesar looking down like this onto the people, like, "Yo, peeps, what up?" True, and she wasn't the beauty that people believe. No, she actually had a hooked nose. Honestly. Like, the thing is, like, when she was young, like, she the images of her, like, if you look at her sister, look at that nose. Like, not, like, there's her brother Ptolemy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, none of them are exactly some to write home about. Now, here's the thing. So, he decided to put the arson away inside of a temple. Right? The temple which was put in, debated to this day. Some say Aphrodite, some say a different god, some say possibly even an Egyptian god. Right? But the fact is that they lost. Hey, Brad Wolf, good to see you, man.
Hello.
Yeah, there is an older painting of Cleopatra, and they are actual coins. She wasn't really that beautiful. But there, not to mention that there was
yes,
mad
Susie, there
imagery.
absolutely was, but that unfortunately was kind of occurring all over the world at the time.
Especially with royalty.
Yeah,
Well,
nobility and
actually,
royalty were infamous
Well,
for that in some countries.
And let's face it, this is a very, very historical lesson of you don't have to be the prettiest girl in the room as long as you put out.
But the thing is, our Princess Asinaway,
You guys are just gonna keep doing that, ain't you?
that's her fucking name, man. I'm trying not to say it properly because Ryan will start laughing if I call her Asinaway.
Well, it's not any better either way.
See?
That's what we have to call the Netflix Cleopatra. Just spread it around. This is us in the way.
No. I call her Cleopatra. No, I call her Cleopatra, sponsored by Natal.
Huzzah.
Cleopatra.
Yeah, you know, the chocolate flavored one. She was average looking, but her personality was captivating. From what I heard, yeah, she was also
By all rights, she was a very intelligent woman and a master manipulator.
There is a story out there that is debated on its authenticity, that if it really happened or if it's later propaganda, because no one can actually prove the date that it came from. Right? That she went up. She tried her luck with a Gaelic, like a Celtic king, and he basically berated her for showing up. Basically, her dress was like see-through. Right? And he berated her for it. It's like, I come here as a king and you come here parading yourself like this. But she was married to her brother at this time, 13 years old. Right? And at this time, I'd say she was 20, 21. Right? And then when she was married to him, he just, guys, he disappeared.
I can't imagine.
More things change, the more they stay the same, folks.
I know.
Isn't that true?
But,
yeah.
So, she was now the sole ruler of Egypt. Her lifelong dreams had come true. Everything she wanted. Yes. Yes, she was, Susie. She was a butterface, but smart and captivating.
Appropriately blunt.
Yeah.
Cunning.
But, yeah. Then her sis... Oh, yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm getting into this now, actually, because you're going to find this fascinating, Brad. So her sister, her peace lasted for 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the peace that lasted for 2 years, suddenly went away because Julius Caesar died. Well, he kind of got, as they say on The Simpsons, a few speed holes.
Yeah.
Yes.
His body got suddenly ventilated. If you get me, yeah.
Later on in history, we would call that getting Trotsky.
And not in Minecraft.
So when he was dead, Octavian took over.
His adopted son and biological nephew. Yep.
Yep, and thus started the War of the crown, because Octavian crowned himself the first emperor of Rome.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is, Mark Antony wanted to be the emperor of Rome because he viewed himself as, I have a legitimate claim to the title, right? So, but he needed Egypt. He needed
the ever fucking eternal fucking issue with ascendancy among family members.
Hey, Jeff, After Dark.
Wow,
Julius
Brad.
Caesar became dressed with red dressing.
Yeah, but before it was called Caesar salad, it was called, I believe, aviator salad. Sorry,
Yeah, that came
aviator
from-
salad.
Yeah, that came from one of the world wars, because they'd essentially they'd give you a last meal before they'd kick you off to die.
Mm-hmm.
And later on in the wars, like when with the planes and things, they really didn't have the money, so they'd feature what they could.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Navy was the best during World War II. They'd give you like potatoes, sausages, hash browns, eggs.
Damn cold waters.
Was that a thing during the Blitz? Because I know they lost a lot of pilots in Great Britain at the time.
Yeah, that was a thing during the Blitz, during D-Day, but that screwed up a lot of people during D-Day because the motion of the ocean made a load of the soldiers sick, and the starchiness, because they didn't eat the night before out of fear, but they were all commanded to eat, right?
Yep.
So a load of the soldiers ended up with diarrhea. So some of the little first wave of soldiers died because they kind of had the runs and were vomiting, so they couldn't focus on what they were doing.
And
amazing how
dehydration
we
is also a
managed
son
to
of a
win.
bitch when you're in the field for a long time.
Oh, of course.
So what you're saying is the beginning of that battle was really the shits.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Yeah. But back to Cleopatra. So when Mark Antony started the wars, right? Cleopatra was there and her sister died. Now, here's the interesting thing. They recently found her bones, guys.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, really?
The only biological evidence of the Ptolemy dynasty, right? Oh, I didn't get a picture of her bones. But here's...
You couldn't get Arsinoe's bones?
Is that her
God.
resting
her casket.
place?
Yeah,
Casket,
they
yes.
reburied her into this.
Oh.
That doesn't really
Yeah.
seem.
That's one big
No.
R.
So would that be a resting bitch place?
It's because that's posthumous, Raquel.
Yeah, she was one of the kings. Basically, felt bad for her, and she was buried with him.
So
Okay.
that became.
Say, this would really look like a Egyptian casket to me.
No, it's not much.
No, she actually died in Rome in territory.
You can
right?
kind of tell.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So here's the thing, right? So this is her burial place today,
Okay.
and out of all the stuff found in the burial place that was there, this is the capstone that went on the top of her funerary place.
Oh.
Yeah, which is the symbol of now we call it the Lighthouse of Alexandria. That is not what it was called, right? It was called the Ptolemaic. It was called the Lighthouse of Ptolemy, right? Because the Ptolemies ruled from it. The Ptolemies set it up. So when she died, the sympathizers all like basically turned around and they all done this for her because she was murdered. Like, she was dragged out of the temple mid-prayer. They did not even let her finish when they dragged her out of the temple.
She was
And-
yeeted out of the temple.
Yes, in the words of your generation, Ryan.
Yes, I'm 23.
I hate you. You're the oldest. You're the oldest looking 23-year-old in the world.
Yep.
Okay, so just as a check-in, was Cleopatra psychopath? From what I've been saying and things like this, the vote is currently 45% yes, 27% no, and 27% want to know, Baba, why are you sticky?
Dear God. People actually
If,
voted on that?
If I win, I'll let you know.
Oh.
Please don't let him win. Didn't they take Kobe? No. So they actually found her. Well, it looks like they decapitated her.
Oh,
Charming.
jeez,
But
what a
here's
way to
the-
go.
Yeah. And it was, to make it worse, it was discovered during the French Revolution that your brain and your consciousness stays active for 30 seconds after you die.
Oh my God,
After you're-
I can't. I can't. Horror.
Yeah. It is horror. So, but they've lost her skull, but they found her body. The skull was lost during the Blitz, right? The fall of Prussia, the German Empire, things like this. But they recently found it back in the late 80s. Is it? No, I thought it was a lot less. I thought it was seconds after that. Yeah, between.
Oh my
Okay, I
gosh.
guess it's 8 minutes. Yeah.
8 minutes. Oh my God, I can't even.
No, because like it was like the guy who done the test shouted at them like condemned, like, open your eyes, close your eyes, open your eyes, and like he didn't get that long out of him. So I was saying that's why it was 30 seconds.
Ugh.
But
Raquel does
Horrible.
not want to be beheaded. Just
No.
letting-
No,
Nope.
I don't.
no one does.
It
Cleopatra
just sounds horrible.
It is. So Cleopatra lived in dangerous times. I don't think
Just
she was a
imagine during the
psychopath.
French Revolution, they used blunted fucking guillotines.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, when done right, beheading is actually very humane.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think we should
they
stop
have
talking
to-
about beheading before we
Very-
traumatize poor
Yeah, they
Raquel.
they have to do it right.
I don't see how beheading would be humane.
If the blade
because-
is sharp enough, it actually severs.
You might be able to know what's going on, but even your head hitting the ground, you don't feel anything. You're not connected to your nervous system anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like Raquel, there are times they used to drown you, they used to rip you apart, they used to feed you to the dogs alive, they used to flay you. There's one emperor of I want to say Byzantium, or maybe it was a German king, right? Who somebody did something, so he had someone flayed alive, Raquel. That's where they peeled you out of your skin.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
God.
Alive.
that's decidedly worse.
So this is why beheading is humane.
That's also where pouring salt in the wound comes from. Just so y'all know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't close the eyelids until they dry and rigors. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
pretty much.
Brad says Cleopatra lived in dangerous times. I don't think she was a psychopath because the world around her was worse. She had gone through. She had to be ruthless to survive, and in the end, it wasn't worth it.
And there I actually agree.
Yeah. So Brad says, I'd prefer to be buried, but if my head could be taken off after death, which a lot of heads were, right? The rest of the body converted into diamonds, and the diamonds stuck within the eye sockets and become a family heirlooms. Brad, you've got a weird kink.
What in the hell is that about?
Taxidermy at its finest.
Apparently.
So, yeah. So, the wars did not go well. You had the Battle of Alexandria. You had, like, all the, like, battles of Spain, battles of Italia, which became Italy. You had the Roman conquests taking over all of Mark Antony's land. He was losing bad guys. Right? And, like, you had the 47, like, from 59 to 44 BCE. It's constant. Every single person she got with died. But the thing is, she had one child from Julius Caesar and 4 children from Mark Antony. Yeah. And I was saying behind the scenes, like, what if you look at the history, more of the more famous things, like the things to survive, were not Cleopatra. Ah, there it is. This is her sister's the inside of Arsene the Waite's tomb.
Oh, okay.
These are the pieces that are left of it.
Looks really
Like,
beautiful.
It was. Like, she was, by all the sounds of it, she was a very genuine woman. Like, this was Caesar. This is one of the, like, what Caesar looked like.
In his prime, you mean?
Well, at the time, like, Raquel, he died close to this age.
Okay.
He was in his late 50s when he was
Which,
Which
assassinated.
honestly, for the time period he was in, hitting your 50s was not a bad run.
Yeah, he looks like a cross between Sean Bean and Michael Rooker.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say. You know, yeah.
Go ahead.
With the picture, it looks like it's a little bit misguided. Like, you know, usually people in their 50s have like more gray in their beard.
Oh, don't forget they also dyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that could be why. That's why it could be misleading.
And don't forget as well propaganda.
Yeah,
right.
There's definitely that.
But sorry, I shouldn't say in his prime. He looks like somewhat, sort of in his prime, sort of.
Well, don't forget though, like this man, Raquel, he is going so hard in his life that by his lifestyle alone, he would have been incredibly healthy and incredibly fit.
I'm sure people back in the day were incredibly fit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
except he was prone to seizures and foaming at the mouth. He would get these fits from time to time.
Yeah, I believe that was unfortunately an inborn kind of genetic issue, though.
Because
Octavian had it too.
Yep.
By either boat or by a horse, as it was pretty much it.
No, not in Rome. Rome marched everywhere.
Well, that
it was
too,
only it was only after a certain rank, after you became legate, that you got the privilege of riding on a horse.
Mm.
Now this is Mark Antony.
Yeah, Caesar II.
Yeah.
For many years.
His best friend.
Yeah, he looks like the postman who's definitely not your father.
Yeah.
Who was that picture?
Cleopatra.
Oh, that's Cleopatra. Okay.
That's one of the paintings of Cleopatra. Now, here's the thing about the paintings of Cleopatra. For her crown, her diadems, and things like this, it depends on what kingdom you're talking about painting. Do you get me? Because each kingdom painted what they knew. So the Germans would paint a Germanic look. The Russians would give her a Russian Tsar crown. Right? The British would give her a British crown with a circle on it going, mine.
Hello, Lorenzo.
Hello.
Hey, man, good to see you. Someone will buy me from Goodwill. Yeah, because she said that. Let me go up. Miss Susie here said, I'm giving my body to science. I'll be dead. I don't need it anymore. You never know. You might fancy a vacation home. You don't know.
You know, I don't respect modern science enough to give them that satisfaction.
Caesar was a young man when he was captured by pirates. He won them over and demanded... Yeah, he literally basically became the captain at one stage. He demanded more of a ransom. He promised to come back and kill them. And after he was released, he did exactly that.
Yikes.
So, yeah. So, Cleopatra.
One of the greatest
Everything-
politicians of all time.
Uh-huh. Cleopatra, everything started going south for her because... So, she went to Mark Antony in about 33 BC. Right? And when they were there, this is when everything went wrong. Because after they started losing, money became tight. The only reason Mark Antony had money was because of Egypt. With all the eyes of Rome looking down on Egypt, this is where the problem comes in. Because with everywhere, he could only essentially have rebels. Do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
So his army was essentially Roman rebels. He was essentially holding a civil war or rebellion. And when he was losing, like, Octavian was crowned emperor. If he'd have literally submitted, he would have survived. He would have been the king of a client king, but he would have still been the king of Egypt. This is what she wanted to be, the queen of an independent Egypt. She wanted to be the co-ruler of Rome because she went after Caesar, then she went after Mark Antony, and Octavian kind of went fuck off, and she like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're too old for me, bitch.
No, yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't want basically my stepmother.
Yeah.
Be
Begone, Egyptian thought.
Be gone, you spooky witch.
No, well, like, no, there's another word for it back then. Oh, what's the word?
Whore?
Trollop?
No.
Woman?
Horny?
No. Starts with a... No, not that. What's the word I'm thinking of? Concubine? I think?
Concubine, yeah. Sorry,
Yes.
I couldn't get to the phone in time.
Yeah, concubine. Yeah.
No, she would have been above that.
Mm.
She would have been...
Cleopatra's not above any man.
A
Ooh,
consort.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe she liked to be on top.
Yeah, maybe. But no, what I'm saying is, like, she was above being a concubine, because when you're a concubine, you're not the queen.
Right.
A concubine is the king's other wife, and the throne was hers. Right? She was Egypt. Hey!
Tony! Hello!
Good to see you, man.
I hope you're doing well.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, we all do. She was Egypt. Right? Not Caesar. Not Octavian. Not Mark Antony. Not blah, 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 Aurelius Julius with those weird Roman names.
Cleopatra, a goddess reborn? I forgot
She
what...
Isis.
Ah!
No, that's not what I meant, Bone.
Yeah, I thought you meant the other C word.
No.
So she claimed, now she needed for the Egyptian people, because the Egyptian believed that any of the pharaohs were literally, insert God, reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You had so all the Egyptian born pharaohs were Horus reborn. Right? The Nubians who ruled for 100 years. And the Nubians were the black people, Netflix.
Yeah.
They were like Kemet reborn. Now, for the fact is that back then, she was not the queen of Egypt. She was the pharaoh of Kemet. right?
It is a good thing you cleared that up with Netflix, though. You know, none of their researchers can read.
You think they have researchers?
No, I honestly don't. I think they hit Wikipedia a couple times and then just made up the rest.
Not even Wikipedia's that woke.
I was being gracious.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
then
happens when you tick boxes and hire people from the third world who can't read, write, or count.
They didn't hire people from the third world. They hired people from the BBC's history section.
At least the third world has work ethic.
then you had then you have Isis as the Ptolemies. The female Ptolemies were all Isis. Now, she claimed this so she could fit into the Egyptian religion. She was the first one to speak the language of the Egyptians. Her sister didn't even speak the language of the Egyptians. She did. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, when her kids were murdered during the war, one after another, except for her daughters, her two daughters, right? Her daughters went off into Africa and other places, and oddly enough, they actually have some of the most successful lineages going for the next couple of 100 years.
Well, yeah, they weren't living in an area people wanted to murder them.
Yeah, her family were all her grandkids, her great grandkids were all kings. So I'm just yeah, maybe she should have placated to Rome. She should have
Well, you can thrive in one area, Potato, but meet your demise in another.
Yeah. Literally, but her not placating, she made a load of mistakes being so up her own ass, right? That honestly, if she'd have come up with something, she should have seen the writing on the wall. She had to know what was going on with how bad Mark Antony was doing. There's no doubt about it. The only STD I have is sexually transmitted.
Wow.
Say what?
So you've never watched Star Trek Discovery. Good for you. Good for you.
Congratulations. So she turned around and she must have seen the writing on the wall. Her children were being murdered because of the wars of their father. Her son, the king, who was meant to take over as the new Ptolemy, was killed. Caesarean. Gone. Right? There must have been... I don't get how she did not turn around and just betray Mark Antony.
Is that how the saying goes? The sins of our fathers?
That's more for children. It's like the sins of our fathers go on to the children.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I know what you mean.
How old would have Cleopatra been during this period?
39.
Menopause. That's the only reason.
Not that early.
Back then, yes. Average life expectancy.
Well, yeah, because life expectancy
the classical era was about 40.
You're also forgetting, guys, she was royal.
Yeah.
Okay, so 50.
Yeah.
And she had given birth
I think, yeah, but even if she had caught actual feelings for Mark Antony, right? Mm-hmm. She definitely did love him.
She was still a very shrewd woman, though. At the end of the day,
yes.
And her survival was usually
she loved as much as she possibly could, but when manipulators get their prize, their undoing is that they will not let go of it for anything.
Yeah.
There is a line by a king, I don't know his name, but the line always stuck with me. Someone had a knife. It was used in Game of Thrones, right? They had an arrow or sword up to his daughter, and she's like, "Dad, please help me." And he looked at her and he went, "Huh." And it's like, why? He goes, with the amount of, the fact that I can legitimize my bastards, what's one kid to me? I'll make another.
Yeah.
She could have had that mentality. I'm still young enough. I can make another heir. But then it happened. 33 BC. Right? Mark Antony lost officially the war. he lost everything. He had no lands, no money. Egypt was bankrupt. Egypt was gone, right?
Mhm.
Her kingdom was basically a petty state at this stage. The once great Egyptian empire, gone, absolutely. Hold on now.
They had
Same
been
thing with-
floundering a while.
Yeah.
Well, it was declining.
245 years BC, it stretched to Greece, right? 330 BC, stretched down as far as Saudi Arabia. That's it. Half of Egypt over to Saudi Arabia by the maps. Like, they had been dying.
Well, that's what happens when foreigners run your country to the ground, folks. It's been happening since
And-
classical time.
Then, in the grand scheme of history, they didn't make it much longer after that.
Mhm.
No. So 3 years after that, because Marcus, the man, was essentially a bitch. Because instead of handing himself over to Octavian like Octavian wanted, he turned around and he took himself over. Yeah, he was a great general, but Octavian was a better politician. But when he had lost everything, Brad, like, he had lost all his lands, all his soldiers, everything was gone. Right? He had turned around and he took his own life, which led Cleopatra to now fend off the Roman Empire by herself.
Well, and bear in mind, as far as Octavian it goes, Mark Antony was family. In a lot of ways, he looked up to him. He knew of his exploits, and everything, and he helped him take the throne after the fall of Caesar, Julius Caesar. So I mean, there's a lot of history between these two, and so, like you said, Octavian wanted Mark Antony to come quietly. It wouldn't have been great for him, but he wouldn't have died.
Mark
and
Antony
he
would have
really,
basically been made a lord, or a lord of some estate on some godforsaken island.
Potato.
yeah.
Yes.
Widely known that Mark Antony was a prick. And
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. This
He
kid's
was
basically his
Caesar.
nephew, and he went after him.
So, with this, then, the 3 years of hell happened. Like, Rome took more and more and more, and then they got to Alexandria. Right? And what was known as the storming of Alexandria, from what I've read. And that is where it happened. Cleopatra lost it. And on the night that Rome was coming, Octavian was coming to Alexandria. She took her own life. Now, here's the debate. The snakes. And the way that she took her own life is now widely debated. They say that she took asp bites to her breast. Then they say she took cobra bites to her wrist. Farv, what's that black snake from the Middle East? Do you know?
Oh, son of a bitch. It's not an adder. Fuck. I can't remember what they're called.
I thought it was an adder.
It's
Yeah, they said
Iran.
another one said that she took an adder to her heels. Another one said that she had to bite her tongue, and someone else said that she had to bite her jugular. But a load of historians are getting together, and they think that instead of letting it bite her, that she drank it, because
I was gonna say, wouldn't it have been more pragmatic to just drink the fucking venom?
Yes.
Let's see. I'm looking this up. A desert
She was very
cobra-
dramatic.
The snake is it a desert?
Yeah.
A desert cobra. Walter Inesia or something like that. Is that the
Possibly.
thinking
But
of?
Black Mamba? Maybe. Like, it literally depends on the writer and which snake it is.
True.
Like, a lot of historians think that what actually happened was she may have taken a mixture of snake venoms. Right?
That would definitely kill you.
Yeah. Now, she drank this, and we know that her age...
That sounds like a rockin' cocktail, though. Yeah, if you gotta go, just saying.
Yeah. No, she would not have gone out pretty. Like, some of those snake venoms are neurotoxins.
Yep.
Other ones, they like start like literally melting your muscles away.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, liquefying you from the inside.
Oh God.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a similar way in which spider venom works.
Yeah,
Some of them coagulate your blood. Others melt you right down to your bones. Like if that's the way she went, my God, she's a better man than I am.
now there
Woman.
is. Yeah, but it's just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is now. Here's the thing, though. One or two rogue archaeologists even poised to think that she may have just disappeared into the night and like faded into some like little
Obscurity.
city. So yeah, but the fact is, you couldn't. Not with her face.
Uh,
Well,
Like
not to mention not with her ego. That would never have worked.
It's about unclear as freaking Nohime, who was Nobunaga Oda's wife. Nobody's really sure whether she died, committed suicide, ran to another clan to hide, or just fucking vanished. It's inconclusive.
yeah, like they're saying like they're looking for her body to this day, right? And people are like, oh, I think we got it. No, we don't. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. They're even thinking that they've got her body in one of the museums somewhere as unnamed female body. But the thing is, if you look at the burial customs from Rome, you look at the burial customs from Greece, because she was part of the Greek religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
They burned. So I think that what was more likely happened because none of her ancestors, none of her family were like their bodies are being found apart from her sister, who was a freak outlier, right? I honestly think that she was cremated.
No, it is possible.
I mean, it's plausible. It's very uncommon, but
Here's another thought, right? Given what she did with the uncle, how angry Aurelius was. Now, this is just a thought from me now. No historical evidence. This is just, like, my own inside sources. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
no, God, please no.
Speculation.
Yeah. Do you think Octavian had her fed to the animals?
Plausible. If he got to her first, and if he
He was
if he
in the city. He
I'm saying,
walked...
even if he didn't get to her first, if he was angry enough with her, then he might have done it posthumously.
Yeah.
Well,
He might have
and-
found her body and just disposed of it.
And from Octavian's perspective, he would blame her for a lot, both where Julius and Antony are concerned. Like he would have every reason to hate this woman on every level.
Oh yeah.
But the fact is, like, as a people who had such deep faith in their religions, do you honestly think that he would have defiled a queen so much?
I think he might have, just given the disgust and hatred he had for her.
This dude has been fighting for everything since he was a teenager. Like, I mean, the battle
And you know what?
after
If you
battle.
consider their religion too, he might have actually seen her as an affront to those same gods.
Yeah, yeah.
By claiming she was a different god?
Yes. Well, one of many reasons he could have had.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for joining us. With the last few minutes that we have, I'm going to let the guys here show themselves out, and then we're going to wrap this up. And we will be back to you on Monday talking about the state of Star Wars with our friend FPS and someone else. So
what time is that, by the way?
I'll let you know when I have a definitive.
All right.
You get me?
Yeah.
Raquel, you want to go first?
Yes. I'm Raquel, SSG2211. I do hangouts and painting hangouts on my channel. And on my gaming channel, I play video games. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Farv?
Yeah, I got a channel here on YouTube called Farvithian Guard. My brother and I do occasional game streams, a lot of recorded episodes of a bunch of different games. We're slowly adding more to the roster as we go. I also am the author of the Farvithia Chronicle, which is on Amazon. If you don't have a link here, there's a link literally on the banner of my page also.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Tony, this is like something I want to try now, like for the next few Fridays. There's actually if you go to my community tab, there's actually a poll board. By the looks of it, next week we're doing Alexander the Great.
So not Blazing Saddles.
No.
No.
Ryan,
I had to make another Mel Brooks joke.
Yeah, Ryan, you want to post yourself out?
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to Potato Revan. You can find me at Ryan Roger Athe. I am the host and founder of Reality Based, in which Potato and Favre have been guests, and
Yes.
Bubba is more than welcome to be on, and so is Raquel as well. It's just a
Much
matter
appreciated.
Yep.
Thank you.
Always welcome. All of you are always welcome. And tomorrow I'll be making a few videos if I have the time. And I'll also be on 3 separate streams this
fantastic.
Saturday.
Hey, Gorilla swung in here real quick.
Oh,
Hey. Yo, Gorilla, good to see you, man. Drop a like and everything like this. You can check us out on the rewatch. I had fun with this chat.
At
So I'm just going to...
some point this weekend, I forgot to mention, my brother and I may be trying to stream something again. I'm hoping that the servers are stabilized for some birthday shit, just for the hell of it. We'll see if we can get that going.
Nice. So I'm going
thank you, Susie.
Yes. Thank you, Susie. Yes, they are like a great bunch of idiots.
thank you.
So
Potato.
you're welcome. So guys, I'm going to end on this image right here. Like this is her. This is how. Yes.
The Kikura Bubba didn't see anything.
Yeah, he just got a Twitter.
Oh, for the but for the next 6 weeks, I'm Pirate Lord Bubba, but that does not change the Twitter handle. You can follow me there. The Renaissance Festival in Muskogee, Oklahoma, will be going on, and so just watch for some pics.
Nice.
All right.
So guys, I'm going to leave this up. The how history remembers her, the great Cleopatra, surrounded by her cheetahs, Timmy and Tammy, with their superpowers.
She's not African American.
No,
She is not. That is okay. I'm going to address it right here.
Excuse
What
me.
the titties?
Right.
He does.
Actually, Raquel, those in zoos, cheetahs are so skittish that they literally have to give them emotional support animals, which are Labrador dogs.
That's actually true.
Now, here's the thing, guys. What's going on Netflix right now is Afrocentrism at its worst.
It's worse than that because I was about to say it's also in large part Jada Pinkett's inflated, impossible fucking ego at needing to make herself and by extension, allegedly, her fucking race at the forefront of everything. But at the end of the day, like everything she does, it's all about her.
It is. Like, this woman is really fucking disgusting. There's stuff I can't even tell you. Like, on stream. I'll tell you backstage what she's done.
I was fixing to say we've heard things.
Oh, yeah. We've all heard some of it.
Yeah, no, but, and one of the most egregious things is that one of the women turns around, like, one of the African-American ladies turns around and goes, my grandmother, who's not a historian, by the way, turns around and said to her, I don't care what they tell you, Cleopatra was black based on what, bitch?
Yeah, there's no evidence of any kind.
Magic.
Yeah.
Fucking magic.
Yeah.
Black
Like-
magic.
Yes, but guys, I'm going to say thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining. Have a great weekend. God bless, and I will see you next time. Peace out.
Later.
Bye for now.